So this whole thing is kind of like beginning to make less and less sense. Regina Daniels and Nwoko on the issue of drugs or taking drugs. A few people are saying that she needed to take the drugs because it's so old. Someone even said so ugly that in order to sleep, to be able to be physical with him, she needed to take drugs. And this is where it makes no sense to me because from the confession of Regina herself, she said at the beginning, when she wanted to marry Ned Nwoko, the senator, that the parents did not agree or the mother did not agree, which as we know is kind of a little untrue because the father came out to say that at that time that he was in disagreement, but the mother was adamant about the daughter marrying him, and she even said the father was enemy of progress. I quote that from what the father wrote, not my words. And so we are hearing now in the series of social media posts she's been putting out there, when people were saying that the mother was to blame. I even said that myself, the mother is to blame for all of this, that she should not have married her by, forced her into the arms of someone so much older than she still is. And I think in trying to protect the mother, Regina came out to say that, that it wasn't her mother who forced, that she loved the guy. In fact, that at some point she threatened to susu herself if they did not let her marry him. And this is where I'm saying that it gets a little weird. So having heard that she loved him so much that she threatened to susu herself if she was not allowed to marry him, how come people are now saying that she needed to take drugs in order to be able to sleep with someone so old? So if you wanted so badly to marry a guy and you were prepared to susu yourself if you were not allowed to marry that guy, it's not today that it's old. It's always been old. You've only been married to him 7 years, so that's not such a long time. The age difference cannot have been so great between the time you married him and now 7 years forward. So if you wanted so badly to marry him and that you were prepared to susu yourself if you were not allowed to marry him, why then was it hard for you to sleep with him, to have intimacy with him, to have intercourse with him? What happens when a woman marries a man? Of course you have intercourse with a man. You knew that. That's a given because it's your husband. Although I'm not in support of the way the senator is handling this, because I think it could have been handled a lot better, I'm still saying that in the analysis that a lot of people are pouring forth, she wasn't coerced into this marriage. She was not forced into this marriage. She wanted, from her own admission, she wanted this marriage. So if you wanted this man so badly that you were prepared to sue yourself if you were not allowed to marry him, why then was it hard for you to have intercourse with your husband? Why was it so hard that you needed drugs to have intercourse with your husband? So some of these narratives don't make sense. They're being put forth, don't make sense. What is happening has happened. Probably she's no longer in love with him, as in love as she was with him when she was prepared to susu herself, if she was not allowed to marry him. It's a given. Things like this can happen. But let's not lose sight of facts, because the fact remains that Regina was not coerced into marrying her husband. And even if she was coerced, the coercion was by her own mother. And so if any blame should be put at any feet, it should be at the feet of the mother. I do not think the senator, however much it tends to lean towards virgins. I mean, I'm sure there are countless other virgins at the time he married Regina. I'm sure that he did not coerce Regina into marrying him. If Regina's mother said, sorry, my daughter is too young, I disagree, Regina would not be Ned Nwoko's wife today. And what we are witnessing today would even have been a moot point. There would not be any Regina Nwoko. So if there's any blame laying, it should be at the feet of the mother. She was not mothering this girl the way a child should be mothered. She was not the kind of mother, she was not a mother the way that she should be a mother. And so let's not put the whole reason for the drugs, if indeed there's any drug taking, let's not lay it at the feet of so-called it was not attractive enough. That's why I needed to have drugs. Because I'm sorry to say that is complete BS. I'm still very, very sorry for what has happened to this young girl. I still believe that it should be handled properly, that the two can come together and handle this properly, because the way it is going, it's a little like Pandora's box. Once you open that box, you cannot call things back in. But at least you can manage it, because at this point, you can still rent certain things in a bit if you're wise. So please, hoping that there are some wise people within both families, both from the Nwoko's family and the Daniels family, who can actually come together and rent this thing in before it gets more out of hand than it already has. That's just my opinion.